What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a good Friday, because you should be. You should be. If you're not having a good Friday, you need to change that. You need to fix it. And you need to have yourself a good Friday. Hey, look at me. Have a good Friday, okay? Why would you not have a good Friday? It's Friday. Make it a good Friday. Guess what? Today is Mission Impossible Day. That is going to make it a good Friday for you. I bet that is going to make it a good Friday for you. And you're visiting my YouTube channel if you're watching this. So obviously, it's going to be a good Friday now. Yeah, let's talk some MI, dudes. Mission Impossible. We're starting MI series. So this is going to be fun. We're going to go through all 7 MI movies, including the release of the newest one. And yeah, let's do this. Mission Impossible, the original, the OG, released in 1996, starring Tom Cruise, directed by Brian De Palma. Yeah. Positives and negatives for the original Mission Impossible movie. We're going to start with the positives, go through the negatives, and then I'll give my overall rating at the end. So, positives with Mission Impossible. I like the Mission Impossible theme music that they obviously introduced here in the original one. It's a very catchy score. It's very catchy kind of music. I like that. I like it. It's always fun when you hear that theme music. You know you're in a Mission Impossible movie. I also like the character of Ethan Hunt in the film. I think he's an entertaining character. A lot of that is Tom Cruise's personality that's coming through the character, because quite frankly, you could give that character to a number of different actors and they wouldn't have the charisma or the personality to really make that character that entertaining. So a lot of it is on Cruise and his personality and charisma to come through that character, to make it a fun character, make it a character that you're invested in, make it a character that's entertaining to you, makes it a character that you want to watch on screen, and you're in on this journey with him. So yeah, I liked the character writing of Ethan. I like the story here as well, and in the writing department. I think you had the story of this MI agent group that is assigned this mission. They go to do this mission, and things go really wrong. Tom Cruise loses essentially all of his team members. And he's got to figure out what happened. He's got to figure out who's behind it, and why they did what they did, who they are, what they're capable of. And it's a I don't know. It was kind of an interesting way for a first film. Obviously, it's not copying any other prior film because it's the first in the franchise. So you can't fault it for not being original, or just copying all the other previous films before it, because this was the first one. And a lot of like agent movies before Mission Impossible was either just about the one guy or the team together having to complete a mission. But here they kill off the team early on, and Cruise has to now figure out what went wrong and who's behind all of it. So there's a plot twist towards the end, which I thought was well executed with John Vaught's character, John Voight. Yeah. Anyways, I like the story here. So it's nothing like too over the top, but it works. Yeah, it's an action movie. It's an MI action movie. You want to go to these type of movies for the entertainment, for the action, for the characters, for the fun, and that's what you get with this first one. So, um, yeah, I liked the story. I liked the character of Ethan Hunt. Um, I liked as far as the script goes with the writing. The script was pretty good. I think some of the dialogue in certain areas didn't feel quite that good. But overall, I think the writing was a positive for me. It gave me a positive viewing experience with the story and the script, the characters. I liked it. I also liked the action here, the especially the the vault scene, hacking scene where Cruz goes down on that harness, and he's got to hack in to the software. Um, that is definitely the best scene of the movie. It's so suspenseful, like you're just like on edge the whole time, wanting him to figure it out and not get caught. Um, Couple close calls there as well, but just the way it's shot, the way it's directed, I thought it was really well executed. Um, so yeah, I liked that whole scene, and it's definitely to me the best scene of the film. So there's some good action here as well that I enjoyed. So those are my positives for Mission Impossible. Moving on to the negatives. And I do have a few negatives. I don't think the first Mission Impossible, I don't think is the best Mission Impossible. And I think most people that I've talked with about the MI series would agree with that. I don't think most fans of this franchise would consider the first one to be the best. I think, you hear a lot of five or six, or, some even have three up there, but you don't really hear one as being the best. And I think there's a reason for that. This was the first one, so obviously they're creating these characters. They're trying to find out who they are, what they can be as a franchise, what they're all about. And obviously, you never expect a film to go over so well with audiences that they want sequels, and then it turns out to be a franchise. So, uh, but this is still a fun ride. I still have a good time with it. But as far as the negatives are concerned, there are a few negatives I do have with this film. One of them is, I think, primarily in the directing by Brian De Palma. I don't necessarily think he was the best choice for director of this film. There's a number of issues with the directing that I have here. One of them is in the lighting of this film. I don't think this film is lit that well. There's a number of shots that I think have too much shadow in them, too much contrast in it. If you're a photographer or a cinematographer, maybe you're watching this and you're a cinematographer, or just a photographer in general, or familiar with how cameras work, you'll understand those terms about lighting, contrast, shadows, highlights, stuff like that. And I personally feel this first one had too much shadows in it and too much contrast to it. So I didn't like the way it was lit in this film. There are some shots that are lit well and that I do think look good, but I think more shots were unpleasing to my eye than pleasing to my eye. So yeah, I think it definitely could have been lit better, could have been shot better. The cinematography, as far as the camera work itself, isn't that bad. Um, but the lighting and the look to this film, I think, is, for me, a negative. So, and then also with the directing, there's a couple shots as far as camera placement that I don't think really worked. I think what was bad camera placement. So there's a scene where Cruise is having a conversation at this restaurant with like the agent lead person at this table, and the camera placement is a low shot. So the camera is underneath and it's shooting upwards towards the actor. And those types of shots are not the best shots for emotion or exposition scenes, because in those type of scenes you want to see the emotion of the actor so that the audience can relate to the actor, or that the audience can have a certain feeling about that character that you want the audience to have. But with a low angle shot in that type of scene, you're missing that connection to the character, or you're missing that the particular type of feeling that the director wants you to feel towards that character. So I remember watching that scene this time around for this review and thinking, I don't think that's good camera placement there, because I'm not feeling the feeling I should be feeling for this character in the moment. So, and there are a couple of those same shots on Cruise, and you didn't get to see the emotion of Cruise's reaction because of the camera placement. So I think that the camera placement could have been better on some of those shots as well. I don't know if Brian De Palma was the best choice directing for this type of film, for this particular film. So yeah, the directing was, I think could have been better. Some of the score, not the theme music, but the score and other parts by Danny Elfman, who I do like. He did the score for the first two Tim Burton Batman films. I'm a Batman guy, so and I do like the Batman score that he did there, but the score here, I wasn't a fan of. I felt like there wasn't really a theme to it. I felt like the score wasn't really fitting the scenes that the score was in, if that makes sense. So I don't think it was the best score for this film. I don't think it was that well directed. The CGI for the train scene at the end, not very good. I gotta say, not very good. I don't think Brian De Palma had a lot of experience using CGI in his films, handling that, shooting those type of scenes. But there's definitely some scenes with with the train scene at the end that are not well shot. Like the CGI stands out, and you can see the visual effects of the CGI in those scenes. It kind of stands out, and it doesn't look very good. So yeah, stuff like that. It's my problems with this film that brings it down for me are almost entirely in the directing. I don't think Brian De Palma did a good job directing the actors in this film either. Cruise, I think, does all right, but I don't even think Tom Cruise is great in this first Mission Impossible movie. he definitely has better performances as Ethan Hunt in later MI films, but in this first one, I don't think he's directed that well either. So I don't think John Voight doesn't really seem like he even wants to be in this film. I don't think he was directed very good. His character, I never really thought the stakes felt that high in this film. I never felt like there's some huge looming threat over the film throughout the runtime. So I don't think as an antagonist, John Voight was really that menacing of a antagonist. I don't think his threat was that high as an antagonist. I don't think his performance was all that great as an antagonist. I definitely like some of the villains in later MI films better than John Voight here. I think they were directed better. I think their performances were better. But again, that also falls back on the directing. It's partially on the actors. I think they could have delivered better performances. But part of it is also on the directing the actors the way that you want them to deliver their lines in their scenes. So, but hey, what can you do, right? People are gonna be people, all right. So yeah, those are my negatives with the film. Yeah, I like this film. My overall rating here is 3 stars, 3 out of 5. I do have a positive viewing experience with the first Mission Impossible movie. It is overall, a good film, 3 stars. It's solid. I did have a good time with it this time around. But there definitely are issues and negatives that I have with the first Mission Impossible that bring it down some for me. Those may not be issues or negatives for you, but they are for me. So there you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on Mission Impossible. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What would you rate this film? What are your thoughts on this film? Is this your favorite Mission Impossible movie? Let me know. And coming up next, we'll do Mission Impossible 2, and we'll just go through each film chronologically. So hope you enjoy this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Till next time, as always, kick it and rock on.